Hello everyone, welcome to the 15th episode of our podcast Pepper Spotlight. My name is Pawan Rochwani, and in this episode we're going to talk about something that's been talked about very often during this second wave of the pandemic, which is about take a break, take some time off work and something on similar lines. But how do you exactly take break from work when break also sometimes feels like work? And this is something that I have been also personally facing for quite few weeks now, because we're in the same room, we're working from the same bed, sleeping in the same bed, using the same laptop for watching Netflix, using the same laptop for our Google Meets, Zoom calls and everything else. So how do you really take a break from work when everything seems like work? My name is Pawan Rochwani. I'm the host of this show, and I also lead the community and events and partnerships at Pepper Content. And let's get some tips and practices about how we can take an effective break from our work. Now, the very first point into this topic of how to take a break from your work is it's more about time management. It's really about how you block your time and how do you exactly isolate your work hours from your rest hours or whatever, your exercise and all of those things. In fact, I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs and coaches schedule time in their calendar for, let's say, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is for playing with their kids, or 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. is for Netflix, or this is the exercise time, and these are the work hours for them. And I think that time blocking really helps, and this is something that has been talked about very often. Again, there are very effective tools like you can use on your phone as well, on your laptop as well, which can record what's your screen duration, how much time you're spending on a particular app, and that kind of time blocking and those apps can really be helpful to just take that first step into taking a break from your work. It's more about first analyzing where your time is going and then actually blocking it and making it effective. Now, when you're doing this time blocking, it's also important as to you schedule, let's say for example 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. if it's for Netflix, what exactly are you going to watch on Netflix during that time? When you monitor your content consumption, it really helps you evaluate yourself as to are you putting in the right effort into what kind of content you're consuming. Even if you are giving, let's say, half an hour to scroll through Instagram, what kind of content are you consuming? So really put a check about and reconsider what you're watching, what you're consuming. I think that is very important, especially during what the current second wave of the pandemic we are going through. Something else that you can block your time for is find a new creative outlet. For example, when last year around this same period I was getting very exhausted or saturated with the work that I was doing, so I considered taking a course which was completely out of my domain, or let's say my industry. There are hundreds of websites like Udemy, Skillshare, and there's so many books as well that you can just read about if you want to learn a particular skill. But joining a cohort-based course or a community-based course really helps you connect with some other students, mentees, freelancers and other creators who might be interested into the same field. One thing that I've done very recently is I signed up for a course which was in Spanish with English subtitles, and it has made me put a lot of attention into what I'm watching over those videos and what the PDFs are about and all of those things. If it would have been like a English course or something from India itself, I would have maybe done it on the sides while I'm having lunch, dinner, whatever, or just while I'm cycling and just listening to it and something of that sort. But because this is in Spanish and I have to focus on the subtitles always, it has made me put my attention into it. So this is just like a small hack that I did for myself. Might not work for everyone, but I think joining a course and becoming a part of a cohort is something that's really beneficial throughout this taking a break and time blocking effort. Something else that also works really well for me personally is to block some time for reading. Now, I think I said this in the last few episodes also, that I don't have any news apps on my phone, but whenever I want to read something, if I would have come across a great article on Twitter or on Instagram swipe up story or somewhere else, I just copy paste that link and put it into a WhatsApp group which where there is only me, and I think a lot of people have this kind of WhatsApp group where it's just them and nobody else, and they just share all the important links or messages or PDFs or documents or anything of that sort in that particular group. So I just share those links into my that WhatsApp group, and the time that I've scheduled for reading, I read those articles around that period. Another thing that has worked well for me in this pandemic situation is to take up like a 21-day or a 4-week challenge. It could be something as simple as setting up like a 1-hour exercise routine every day, or reading about new plants. I think this is like a new fascination I've got during this lockdown. I am reading about plants, and I'm just trying to hoard a lot of plants in my room currently. Not going quite well, but still just trying to have a new interest about something, and making sure that I'm committed to it for like a certain period of time. And that is trying to make me consume my headspace into something entirely new rather than the usual work that I have been doing. And most of these things are about time blocking, and when you manage that time and block that time for a particular new activity, how it naturally enhances your working capacity also and productivity as well, because when you're working, then you're just focusing on your work. It's also about how you get into that few deep hours of work, and it really helps a lot. This is going to be a short episode, but what we are doing in this episode is we are mentioning a 25 quick home breaks that we are personally recommending to you. It could be something as certain playlist about TEDx videos, or it could be about you should start cooking your own meals or something of that sort. And we're giving a list of 25 such activities that you can take up in this entire second wave of the pandemic. The link to that is in the description of this episode. Please just go ahead and watch it and just read that, and it's something that will give you like an entirely new perspective about how you can actually take break from work. I know this is a very short episode, but all the details are here in this particular link, so just go ahead. There's a link in the description of this episode, and let us know how did you find this episode. If you liked it, if you have any certain suggestions, if you have any guest recommendations, or if you want us to take up a particular topic, we are more than happy to take your recommendations and suggestions. Just feel free to DM us on @pepper_content on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or email as well, social@peppercontent.in. Feel free to share all the suggestions you can, but most importantly, please take care of yourself. Stay indoors. People who are in Maharashtra and Karnataka, I think the vaccination for 18 to 44-year-olds have been suspended for now, and we don't know when it's going to happen. So now there's no point in taking that COVID app, checking it every day for slots. But hope this settles down quickly, and this too shall pass very soon. But stay indoors, take care, and stay safe.